Bollywood's queen Kangana Ranaut had been ambivalent about entering politics so far. In that interview that I did at the Aaj Tak Himachal Pradesh Panchayat, she's candid, forthright in her political ambitions, and I've had an opportunity since to speak to some of the senior-most BJP leaders who seem to indicate that they would welcome Kangana Ranaut and would be open to the idea of her being a part of the BJP. Would Kangana make a good politician, or would she be shooting her mouth off and land herself and her party in trouble? To talk about the prospects of Kangana as a Neta, I'm joined on this broadcast by Shaina NC, spokesperson of the BJP, squaring off against her, Andrea D'Souza, and we have Rahul Ishwar joining us as well. Shaina NC, let me start with you. We've had an opportunity to speak on record and off record to some of the senior-most BJP leaders who seem to believe that it's not a bad idea for Kangana Ranaut to be in politics. The BJP seems open to the idea of giving her a platform and taking her on board. Why is it that you believe that Kangana Ranaut has the trappings of a good politician?
First and foremost, this question itself is speculation, so I would want to say, hypothetically, if anybody, be it from the film fraternity or any other professional background, choose to enter public life, they are welcome to do so. We welcome because our party has 11 crore members, and Bharatiya Janata Party, being the largest political party in the world today, obviously has the tallest leader in Prime Minister Modi, and citizens alike, irrespective of their professional backgrounds, are so inspired by Prime Minister Modi that a lot of us who come from different backgrounds and different fraternities have chosen the path of politics to give back to society as Pradhan Sevaks, the way the Prime Minister is. Now coming to Kangana ji, obviously if she chooses to join the Bharatiya Janata Party, she is welcome to do so, and we would definitely leverage on the premise that somebody who is giving of themselves to serve society is using the Bharatiya Janata Party not just as a platform but a genuine medium to serve society and the downtrodden. I think that is the way it has to be viewed. You have had film stars in the past who have been an absolute disaster. Govinda is one of those names that comes to mind, and you have had very successful actors and actresses like Hema Malini, Sunil Dutt, irrespective of which party they chose to join, who have conscientiously worked for society. And I hope that Kangana Ranaut, if she does choose to join the Bharatiya Janata Party, and which we hope would be a positive step in the positive direction, would do so with the utmost intent of serving society. And in that respect, there's no better platform than that of the Bharatiya Janata Party, because it is a party of opportunity, but it's also a party that believes in perform or perish. So if you perform, you will be given all the accolades you deserve. And I'm sure that on a positive note, that can only be a good sign in the days to come.
Andrea D'Souza, you seem to believe that Kangana would not be suited for politics, that she'd make too many errors and she could be an embarrassment. Explain, why is it that you believe that the Queen can't be a good politician?
Firstly, good evening to everybody, and thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show. Now, I have myself been a Bollywood reporter since 10 years before, and I know Kangana and the entire Bollywood very closely. That's the reason, one of the reasons I'm here today. And you know, Kangana, I've always found her a fickle-minded, an opportunist, a person who's always out there to grab opportunity, whether it's Aditya Pancholi or whether it's Hrithik Roshan. She's always done things to grab eyeball. So for me, she is a person who's an opportunist. Now, coming to politics, she always wanted to grab this kind of an opportunity from before. It's been 2 years back. She tried to meddle into Sushant Singh Rajput's case, purposely just to get into, she wanted to actually pave her path to politics. But back then, when you asked her the same question, she said, no, I'm not interested in politics. People's mind can change, as I said, fickle-minded. Until now, she doesn't agree. She says she may or she may not. So it's a question mark again. But I believe she was never a person who can be a good politician. Why? for a reason, is that apparently that madam thinks that we got independence in 2014, when the reality is that everybody knows when we got our independence. And you know, that itself shows that the person is insulting our constitution, insulting our country, and besides, not just besides insulting our country, insulting our freedom fighters who have given their laid their lives for the freedom. So that itself shows that how much of love she has for the country. So I don't believe she deserves to be.
Rahul Ishwar, Kangana is playing the role of Indira Gandhi in the film Emergency, so she's got some on-screen practice of being a neta, but doing it in real life is quite different. Do you think she'd be able to survive in politics, as Shaina knows and many others do? Politics is a tough business.
Rahul Kavalji, Kangana ji is one of the greatest actresses we have seen, and one of the most marvelous artists in Indian Bollywood or Indian movie history itself. She has won one of the most maximum number of awards, and she is a person who is very conscious and cautious about social issues. She makes her position loud and known. And maybe, some of the positions we may not agree. I am also right-leaning. Kangana ji is more of the right-leaning thing, but I humbly disagreed with her in Shah Rukh Khan's son's case, or Riya Chakravarti's case, or Sushant Singh Rajput's case. But she also has her own freedom. But she is a person who can bring attention to a matter, raise that matter. She is fearless. She embodies that defiance attitude. She is ready to take on the mighty. So she has a very good future in politics, and especially if she can be mentored by seniors in BJP or any other party for that matter. If she can be mentored in the right way, it will be really good. I am given to understand that she is coming from an illustrious family of people who were associated with Congress, but right now Modi ji is a person who is a meeting point for minds across the spectrum. So if she is inspired by Modi ji, she wants to dedicate her time, energy, resources and cost for the service of India, we should welcome her. Whether it is any person, like Shaina ji earlier said, whether it is any person, we should welcome them for the national service. And as Andrea ji pointed out, if there are some contentious positions, she will get evolved over time. But we should be welcoming such stars, because these are very big people, and ordinary people like us or like me will look up to them. When they raise a position, when they raise a debate, they can bring attention, they can bring focus on issues. I believe that will be a very good thing. She is a dharmic, she is more of the right-leaning, patriotic kind of person. So she will really enter that spectrum in a huge way. Just like Sri Rajinikanth, had he entered politics, would have been a huge boost to the entire dharmic thing. Whereas Kamala Hassan is more of a left liberal. We have people from all spectrums here. So I believe Kangana ji will be one of the most valuable acts, just like Hema Malini, who really performed well as an MP, who really reached out to many people. I believe Kangana ji has a great future if she is mentored really well.
When I asked this question, Shaina, to Kangana, about her lifestyle, she said, sometimes the kind of clothes I wear, I won't be able to wear those, so I also have to take a call in terms of a lifestyle change. And you, given your past life, also realize the challenges of having to be a certain way once you're in public life. When you are under the public eye, you have to be very different. The kind of scandals she brushes off her sari or brushes off her back right now, you can't live with. Any of those could consume you once you're in public life, Shaina.
No, clearly, once you are in public life and in the public domain, there are lots of compromises that everyone has to make. But I think those are the compromises you make by choice. And if it's a hypocrisy, then I think that people can see through that. So it's not about what you wear and what you choose to do in your personal space, but it's how you are with public at large, and are you giving of yourself selflessly to public. That is what you're judged on. So I think the work is much more important than all these peripheral issues that you raised, Rahul. I would want to cite, because I come from a very different industry. I come from the fashion industry, and I remember when I fought my first election, people dismissed me and said, "Ye to saadi pehnati hai, isko rajniti ke bare mein kya pata?" So these are the stereotypical notions that one has, which is associated to a particular industry. But honestly, this is the time and day and age of politics of performance. If you are competent and if you are given the opportunity and you perform on your competency and not because of some kind of a tag which is attached to you, then I think that the sky is the limit, because really aspirational India is about people who want to do good. And it could be somebody from the film industry, it could be somebody from the social sector, it could be a bureaucrat. Look at the amount of bureaucrats who are in active public life and who have done phenomenal work because they have the experience to add with the administrative skill. So there are different skill sets which work for public. Obviously, if it is a film star, there is going to be that kind of adulation along with the recognition that you get, which is a step up in any case. What you do with it is actually in the days to come what public will judge you by. And I think
but Andrea, when I saw Kangana,
whether it was a Rekha who chose not to speak in Rajya Sabha.
When I spoke to Kangana in Himachal Pradesh, and we had a lot of young people, especially girls, watching, what was very clear, Andrea, is that they think of her as an icon. They think of her as somebody who's risen from amongst them, who's now gone on to make a mark for herself in Bollywood. And in that sense, she has the love and the admiration of a lot of young Himachalis. And if she's going to be fighting from Mandi, that's a good calling card. On top of having the BJP ticket, that's a good calling card to get started with. So she would be quite formidable in the electoral field, Andrea.
Absolutely, and I think it's
I
a
agree.
very
I mean, I'm not
analyzed
denying that
by
she
you,
is
Rahul, because go ahead.
Andrea.
No, it's okay. Carry on, Shaina. Shaina, carry on, please. Shaina, carry on, please.
Okay.
No, I just said what Rahul said makes a lot of sense, because he's analyzed the situation where you have somebody who's a story of aspirational India, who comes from the state of Himachal Pradesh and who is also made herself into a role model in terms of the choice of roles she's played even in her film character. Now for her to take it forward and to translate it into real life politics, I mean, one wishes her well, and I hope that in the days to come, this is an example that we will be also deliberating on.
She fits in, Andrea, into the idea of New India. Somebody who doesn't come from privilege, doesn't come from Bollywood, and yet has risen to be at the top of her field, Andrea.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
No, on this ground, Rahul, I completely agree to you. But she's not the only one who's done it. Deepika has done it. Priyanka has done it. There are so many women who have done it in the industry. Kriti Sanon has done it. So I won't take it away from her. She has also done it. But that doesn't mean that you play. I mean, have you seen the political propagandas that she has played lately, calling farmers terrorists, using Mahavikas Aghadi and using Sushant Singh Rajput's death just for her opportunities. That's not required. She could have easily, if you are an actress, you are an icon, you are a idol for people, you have to do it yourself. You cannot climb up such situations and make yourself. She has done that. She has done that. There is no denial to it. She has used the farmer's situation. She has used Sushant Singh Rajput's death. She has done many things in that way. She has used Hrithik Roshan. She has used Aditya Pancholi. So
So you've heard different points of view.
These things,
I don't want to play judge and jury. A quick final word, Rahul Ishwar, before I wrap up.
And just one submission. You may remember, I was one of the very few people who strongly spoke in favor of Riya Chakravarti, who strongly argued that it was a suicide of Sushant Rajput. But people do have various opinions according to the information we receive or what is being publicized in the media. See, the positions may evolve, but the quality of a person, the stature of a person, the commitment of a person is more of a constant. So when we welcome such a person, it enriches our field beyond politics. It enriches Indian social life, Indian public life, and rising from such backgrounds, she's an inspirational figure. It will improvise and inspire more women to come to the field. More young girls will be attracted to social service, to public service, and I think it will be a great thing. And coming from South India, we had Jayalalitha Amma. Jayalalitha Amma was one of the fabulous chief ministers, and she was also an artist, and she became one of the best chief ministers of our state. So there are various possibilities. I believe we all should welcome them. Welcome, sir.
Well, what's clear is Kangana is interested. The BJP is open to the idea. And let's see what happens next. But what we've seen in that conversation is indication of intent. on the part of the actor and an indication of willingness on the part of the party. So we'll track this story and see where it goes. For joining me on the Newstrack, thank you very much. We'll have our big Himachal coverage tomorrow at 8 p.m. on the Newstrack. I'll bring you Jabdi met with the Union INB Minister and another Himachali youth icon, Anurag Thakur. So do catch that on the Newstrack at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye, good night.